Well, nearly a dozen Southcrest residents who were devastated by last year's flooding are now being sued by the city of San Diego. The city claims homeowners did not keep up their property maintenance, which they say made the flooding worse. Here to discuss the countersuits from the lawyer and Blue Jeans Group is Justin Isaac. Justin, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
So tell me first your reaction to this. What were your thoughts?
Well, it makes sense in a legal standpoint. From an emotional standpoint, it doesn't feel good to have the city of San Diego sue you, I'm sure. But from a legal standpoint, they are really just trying to diffuse blame as much as possible. They're trying not to pay as much as possible and say, hey, you know what? They might have been negligent. We might have been negligent, but it wasn't all us 100%. So we get to this situation where now it's going to be done in trial where we have to figure out, okay, what percentage did you do? What percentage did you do? But to only go after 12 of the homeowners or a handful of the people who filed a lawsuit, some people may feel that it's a little bit more retaliatory. Like they're really trying to go after somebody and maybe intimidate them a little bit. But the city is saying basically, we're just trying to figure out the truth. We're trying to figure out who is responsible for this crazy event.
Now, what does this mean for the broader litigation when it comes to the proceedings that are going around with the January 2024 flooding?
It's just going to expand a lot more, basically, because we're going from a situation where the city is either, the onus is on them to either prove that they were in the right or that they were in the wrong. Basically saying like, you know, this wasn't our fault and this is the reason why, and then it would go to trial based on that. But now we have to get other people involved where we're going to say, okay, what did you do on your property to maintain? And the city's going to say, well, you did this to make it worse too. So it's just going to make it a lot longer and a little bit more cumbersome. And there's going to be some people who probably drop out as a result, some people who can't afford this as well too. And insurance, you know, is going to pay for a lot of it, most likely.
Well, and that's probably one of the issues here is, of course, the Choyas Creek and the maintenance that was done there. And so now you're getting into this blame game. Like you say, that's going to get very expensive. We know litigation is expensive. That's the reputation that you get, right, as a lawyer.
Well, yeah, that's what happens with lawyers is it does expand and people end up paying a lot more. But you know, the city is claiming that this is a 1 in 1,000 year event. This never really happens in San Diego, 3 inches in like 2 hours, and even if the infrastructure was working at full capacity, it probably wouldn't have handled it. That's what they're claiming, basically. But we all know that some of these you know, canals and wastewater runoffs, they do get clogged up because there's debris in there and they don't get cleared. We've all seen it when we're driving around in different areas too. And there's one of the residents said that he had made over 100 calls, 100 emails, has proof of all of them too. And it's not a good look for the city because we know that there was some overdue maintenance there. But now when you see these lawsuits, the people who already have a pretty strained relationship with the city, it's probably going to get a little bit worse now hearing about these lawsuits. So people are going to be upset.
Yeah, I mean, that's the next question is how this plays out as far as appearances and moving forward. That was something that you said is a concern.
Yeah, it's not a good look overall. I'm hoping that there's going to be some kind of settlement here, but really when you're dealing with insurance, it's kind of out of our hands, really. Insurance kind of takes over and says, okay, well, I'm going to say that we were this much contribute, but all these people who they brought into the suit, their insurance now gets involved too. So we have insurance on all sides, and it really creates a bit of a cluster and going to be worse than anticipated.
Okay, so you think more to come? You think this is going to kind of play out pretty nasty?
We're not going anywhere. Yeah, it's going to, it might get ugly, unfortunately.
Okay, Justin Isaac, we appreciate you coming in, shedding some insight on this one.
Of course, thanks for having me.
All right.